Hello, friends. Today we are going to go over Wednesday's memory jogger. So please make sure that you have completed that before you start watching the rest of this video. All right, so I am going to go to Wednesday's memory jogger. All right, so problem A. We have seen problems like this before in the very first memory jogger we did at school. So we are going to go over that. So A times 3 equals 24. So you have to think, what times 3 is going to give you 24? You could also solve it by using the opposite of whatever operation is being used. I can see that multiplication is being used here. The opposite of multiplication is division. So I can skip count by threes and see how many times it takes me to land on 24 to figure out what A is. So over here, I'm going to skip count by threes and see how long it takes me to get to 24. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24. So now I just have to count how many times I skip counted. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that means A equals 8. So I'm going to put 8 here as the answer for this one. All right, the next one. B divided by 5 equals 10. Well, again, I can use the opposite operation. I see division is being used here, so I can use multiplication to figure out what B equals. So I can do 10 times 5. And we know that when we are multiplying by something with a 0, we can take that 1 times 5, which gives us 5, and then add our 0. So B would equal 50. Five, 0, 50. All right, so moving on to the next one. 7 times C equals 42. So what I can do for this one is I can use the opposite operation like we've been doing. The opposite of multiplication is division. So I'm going to skip count by 7 and see how many times it takes me to land on 42. Starting with 7, 14, 21, 28, 35, 42. And that means I skip counted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. So 7 times 6 would give me 42. So C equals 6. All right, moving down to this one. 7 times 3 equals D plus 1. Well, to figure out what I need on this side of the equation, I need to solve this side. So first we start out with 7 times 3, which is 21. So I have to figure out what plus 1 is going to give me 21. The answer to that is 20. So go ahead and check your work for everything in the problem A box and make sure that you got them correct. Moving on to problem B. Where is point S located? Point R is located at. How far is point R from point S? What is another way to say how far R is from S? So we know that when we see a number line, the first thing is we need to count our chunks to figure out what our tick marks are going to be labeled. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 chunks. So they're going to be labeled as 6. So this would be 1, 6. This would be 2, 6. This would be 3, 6. This would be 4, 6. And this would be 5, 6. So, where is point S located? I can see that it is located at 5, 6. I'm going to erase here so I have room to show or actually I'll just do it in a different color. I see point S is located at 5, 6. So I'm going to write that here. 5, 6. Point R is located at 2, 6. And it wants to know how far is point R from S. So I just count how many chunks are in between there. 1, 2, 3. So that would be 3, 6. And we know that 3, 6 is also equivalent to halfway. You can tell 3, 6 is halfway through the number line. 3, 6 is equivalent to 1/2. All right, check your work for that one. Make sure you got it correct. All right, moving down, we have some area problems. Problem C. Well, it says this is a square. Well, we know that squares have all equal sides. So if this side is 9, then this side must be 9, this side must be 9, this side must be 9, because squares have all equal sides. So if I was going to solve the area for problem C, I want to write my area equation. We know that area equals length times width. So I can see my length is 9 and my width is 9. So my equation is going to be 9 times 9. If you don't know the math fact off the top of your head, you need to use the skip counting strategy. So you need to be skip counting by 9 times. Starting with 9, then 18, then 27, and so on. And you got to keep track of how many times you're skip counting. So this was 1, 2, 3. I'm going to need to go 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that's how you can solve it if you don't know the answer to 9 times 9 off your head. But I know my math facts, so I know 9 times 9 equals 81. So the area of that square would be 81. And then we could write that as square meters. Gotta remember to label it. And then the next one, the area of this shape is 35 inches. What is the length? So I can see that the width right here is 5. So this is very similar to the equations that we did up in problem A. We're missing part of the equation. I know that my area equation is area equals length times width. Well, in this problem, I am given the area, which is 35. And I can substitute that into my area equation. So area equals 35 equals, and I know it's the length times width, but I'm given the width is 5. So we have to figure out what 5 is in this equation. And remember, like I said, we can use the opposite operation. If multiplication is used here, I can use to figure out what it would be. So I can skip count by 5 until I get to 35. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. And all I have to do is count how many times I skip counted to figure out what my answer is. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that means my length is 7 inches. All right. Moving on to problem D. Third grade wants to bring 700 pencils to donate for other students who need them. She brought in 238 pencils last week, She brought in 471 pencils this week. Have the third graders met their goal? Yes or no? If yes, how many extras? If no, how many more are needed? So we know that the goal is 700 pencils. All right, 238 this week or last week, 471 this week. So first, we need to figure out if they have reached their goal. So I'm going to start by doing an addition equation, which is going to be 238. Take that out. So I know my addition equation is going to be 238 plus 471. And we all know how to do our addition. So, oops, that's not what I wanted. I can put it in expanded form. 200 plus 30 plus 8. And then I stack 471 below it, so 400 plus 70 plus 1. So make sure if you're struggling with your addition that you put it in expanded form correctly. Remember, we're trying to see if they've reached their goal of 700. Starting in ones place, 8 plus 1 is 9. All right, and then I go to the tens place. 30 plus 70, or you can think of it as 3 plus 7, which gives me 10, but I have to add the 0, so really I got 100. So that means the 0 is going to go in the tens place, and the 100 gets carried up here because we can't put 3 digits into the tens place. And then I can go and add my hundreds, 100 plus 200 plus 400, or you can think of it as 1 plus 2 plus 4, which gives you 7. And then I add my 2 zeros. So I got 709 as my answer for my addition. So have the third graders met their goal? Well, their goal was 700, so yes, they've met their goal. It was 700, they have 709, so there are 9 extras. So go ahead and take a look, check to make sure if you made any mistakes, and fix them because you'll have an exit ticket very similar to this, so you want to catch your mistakes now. When you are finished watching this video, make sure that you go and do your exit ticket. Your teachers are looking at that every day and they're seeing how you do.